Oh, we got some people in there. Hey, what's going on? Okay, let me just get this out on the on Twitter and let everybody know that we're online. So this is kind of spur of the moment right now. Uh, it's yeah, this is just spur of the moment thing that I'm doing. I think sometimes people, when they see the tutorials, they think that that's just me working through a problem live. That's not the case. These things take a long time to figure out sometimes, so I think it's helpful for people to see uh, how I think through problems, see how much I struggle, and hopefully it'll help people when they're thinking through their problems that they hopefully they don't have the expectation that they have to figure things out right away. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Uh, Happy birthday! Shout out to Darwin. Where are you tuning in from, Darwin? He asked me to tell him happy birthday. So let me find the link to actually. Where is the link for this? Just looking for. Want to let everybody know that we are online. So we have live. Here we are. So we'll copy this. Let's just get it out to the world. How old are you, Darwin? I should actually learn how to multicast this from all my platforms. Maybe that's something for the future. There we go. Let people know on the Discord. By the way, we got some new merchandise as well. So yeah, we've got some new merchandise. You should see it on the video itself. So I'm gonna keep this open. I'm just gonna minimize this. Let's go ahead and open a project. So here we've got our hello sampler. I haven't actually done one of these in a while, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty. I haven't been coding all week as well, so yeah. I hope your expectations aren't too high for me here. I'm going to do new window, so we have JUCE API here. So visualizing a wave. Yeah, I've done the basics of this before. Haven't done it in a while, so this is going to be an interesting project. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I'm sure it's pretty trivial for most experienced developers. So yeah, so let's get going. Adam, what's up, Adam? Great to see you. Great. So let's think about this for a second here. So we have this. So we have this file. We have the format reader. So audio format reader, and let's think about this. So we have this method where we're loading a file, we're creating a reader for it, and somehow we need to be able to get a visualization of the wave into our editor where we'll actually draw it. So we have the first part, which is that we would probably want some type of vector. For now, I'm just going to make a vector that's going to maybe contain the entire wave. So that'd be a vector of floats. So this will be, so then ideally what we would want is in our load method, we will have the file gets, this is when we're actually loading the file. So in here, actually I'm sorry, this needs to actually be in my processor. So in here somewhere, we should have some type of, we'll start off by saying push audio data into the waveform, into the vector. So we're going to have this. So we're going to have this audio file that's going to be floating point values. We don't, when we get further into it, we don't need all of every single value in the waveform, but we can worry about that a little bit later. So we will have this data, this vector that's going to contain this audio data, and then we will, on the other side, so let's give some access to this waveform, so we'll say std vector float get audio waveform. So we will do a getter there. My mouse is acting a bit weird. Sorry about this. This is what you get. This is all the stuff that you don't get when I get a chance to actually. Not sure why it's acting so weird. 1 minute. Okay, I think we're back to normal. Just has some dust in it. So we have a place where we're going to be able to give our editor the waveform. Then over here we will have, let's see, so do we have like a Boolean that is loaded? So what we would want to do, so this is just like my naive first kind of instinct here, is that here we would have some type of, is the file loaded? Yes. And then we will get the vector, processor. Yeah, that's right. Adam pointed out very smartly that this should actually be a reference. We don't actually need to do a copy. So yeah, so that's very helpful. Thank you, Adam. So is the file loaded? Or a better way to say this is, have we just loaded a file? Yes. Then get the audio data from the processor, visualize the audio. Then here we would just have else yeah, there won't be any else actually. Won't need an else. So here we'll need so let's see about this. So we will need to, once the file actually loads, then we have to relay to the editor that a file has just been loaded. So we will need a Boolean is file loaded. We'll set that to false. Then here we would say is file loaded is equal to true once the file is actually loaded. And then over here we will need, oh sorry, let's go back here. So then we will see, we will do a Boolean is file loaded, and then return is file loaded. And then on the editor side, we could say, so then this is where this can start turning into some real code. We could say if processor is file loaded, what is happening here? Why is that not? Oh, because it's a method, sorry. Yeah. So now we have I always do that. I forget my arguments. Cool. So now we have, if the file is loaded, then we need to get the data from the audio processor, which was get waveform. So what we would need to do is we could say auto waveform equals processor get, what was it called? Get audio waveform. So this needs to be a reference, I believe. Okay. Then here we would need, so let's see what's next. Here we would need to, so we'll need to think about the screens, the size of the canvas, and taking the number of points on the waveform and scaling it to the size of the canvas. So we'll need to think through that a little bit more, but we could just say take number of points on from audio waveform and scale to size of our plugin. So that will give us that'll give us the number of points on the y-axis, right? Because we have this waveform that's going to be going from the left side of our plugin all the way to the right hand side, and what we'll need, so that takes care of that. And then for the x, for the x axis, the magnitude of the wave. So we want to put the wave in the center of the screen. So we will need to, so sounds like we need to do a scaling there as well. So we would have the wave going between minus 1 and 1. And then we would need to scale that to 0 on the y-axis and get height. So we would say scale audio waveform y-axis. Just writing kind of what I'm thinking as I'm thinking it. So scale the audio waveform on the y-axis -1 to 1, and then that will go to, so -1 should be get height, which will be the bottom of our canvas of our plugin, and then the top of the canvas, which will be 0. I'm going to change the size of this wave of our actual plugin as well. So we've got set size. It's going to be, let's make this 600 by 200. Right? So let's make sure this all builds and everything. Don't see any reason why it wouldn't. So there we go. So now we will just load up this PST, this hello sampler. So that's what we have at the moment. So let's just think this through again. So we have the number of points. So once we get the wave actually onto this background, we will need to scale the number of points in the waveform that we have to the size of our background on the x-axis, and then on the y-axis we need to go, so we will have the wave go like this, and it will go between -1 and 1, and we are scaling that to the bottom, which is get height, and to the top, which is 0. So that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. So now the question becomes, how do we actually get these points? How do we actually read the points all at once? Okay, so when we load, all right, so let's think about this in our load file. We're going to be loading this audio file into memory all at once, right? So the question is, how do we actually read, just scan through that audio file once and read all the values and just put it into a vector? That's the question. Yeah. Okay. So we would need to get the size of the wave. So how do we get the actual size of the waveform? Let's have a look here. So let's just take a look first at audio format reader. So let's see. So subclasses. So read samples. So let's see here. Okay, so we got length in samples, which is cool. So let's see here. This appears to be kind of what we're looking for. Let me look at audio format reader source for a moment. So audio format reader looks like what we want. Read samples into the stream. So let's see here. So destination channels. Samples, sample and source, number of samples to read. Okay. So this looks like what we need. So how do you actually use this stuff? This is so let's just put this into kind of pseudocode to see what this looks like. So we would say for audio point in like our audio file. I'm terrible with making these comments here. So /star. So we could say for audio point in audio file. Oh, it forgets my code formatting. All right, sorry about this. So for audio, for float point in audio file. Push so then what's our thing called? Waveform. So the these and waveform push back the point. That's really all we need right there. That's all it is. So ReadMax levels looks useful. I'm not even going to. Yeah, that could be nice for zooming in and zooming out. I'm not even going to worry about that just yet. Just trying to get it on the screen itself. How many people do we have tuning in right now? Oh, 10 people. Nice. Nice. Hey, what's up, everybody? So watching me struggle through this problem here. Like I said, probably pretty trivial for people that are pretty experienced in audio dev, but yeah, showing a little bit more of a realistic view of the pace of what's this? ReadMax. Oh, you are right, Conrad. Maybe this is it. So this finds the highest and lowest sample levels, returning them as normalized floating point levels. Okay, so how's this work then? Results. This array will be filled with range values. So these range values these are normalized. Is that right? So okay, so let's just try this. So what's this range thing here? Any linear range with a start. So let's just try it. So it looks like it just feeds it in and so we get a block of samples from the stream. Measure the highest and lowest samples of the channel. Return these as normalized floating point levels. This, to me, this sounds like what we need. This is just the only thing that I'm not quite sure how to implement. So let's just try it. Enough talking, more coding, less talking. So let's see here. So we need a format reader. I could just do this. ReadMax levels. So we've got two. So what's the other version here? So how many samples to read? And return. So yeah. What's this audio subsection reader? Just out of curiosity. Sorry if you hear my dogs. Okay. So I'm just reading through the description right now. Okay, so Adam thinks that it's read, not ReadMax levels. I thought it was read at first as well. Yeah. I mean, this looks pretty. This is, yeah, but, okay, so this returns a bool, but then how do you actually use it though? So you just say, so yeah, it reads through, but then how do you actually read it? Oh, so a little bit of a dispute here going on between Conrad and Adam. Yeah. Yeah, I see ReadMax levels looks nice because you give it, so from what I understand, you have this range of float of this range, what would you call it? Range of float pointers. Yeah, that this is what would be populated the with the results of. Let's just try ReadMax levels first. So this needs to be this. We're just going to try. And then here we want 0, we're going to want, would it be a format reader, get num. Oh goodness. I saw a method for actually getting the number of samples earlier. Lengthen samples. Then audio levels. The number of channels to read is, I'll just put 1. So audio levels is uninitialized. So how do we initialize that? So range. So how does this work? So Conrad says the real question is whether the performance is good enough where it needs caching. Oh yeah, nah, we just want to draw one waveform at a time. Yeah, so and we'll only need to draw it once as well. We won't need to continually draw it or update it. So yeah. I should probably look at how Wave, I imagine that Wave, what's the thumbnail class? Thumbnail. Audio thumbnail, audio thumbnail cache. Hey, what's up? Jessus, Ariel? Great to meet you. Thanks for tuning in. So let's look at the audio thumbnail class, have a look and see if we can get anything from that. Let's just see, let's see if I can click in here and just, there we go. Okay. Create channels, load from. Ooh, this goes. So you have buffered input stream. Input. So let's see here. So what's buffered input stream? Let's have a look at that. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Perhaps another input stream reads it. If you're using an input stream such as file input stream, making lots of smaller. I don't think we need this. So let's see what they do with cache here. Yeah. Ooh, there are all these classes that I've never messed with before. So source, level data source, what's that? Never even heard of that. Yeah, these are all classes that are a little bit beneath, that are beyond my. So where do they actually? The question for me here is like, where do they actually take it and put it in somewhere where they can actually visualize it? So you have total samples. Hi, Dusty Tracks, welcome. Let's see here. Okay. So what is total samples? So that's just that. Okay. So let's go back to where we were. So I'm just, let's see here. So what I'm currently looking for is a place where they take the total samples and they actually read it into some sort of vector or some sort of container that get total length. Yeah, not seeing it. Yeah. Okay. Let's veto that for a second. So the real question here is audio levels. So this range of float, this range object here, what is this? A linear range. And now, so is this like a container or? Okay, yeah, so it's a container here because we got get length, get start. So I'm just going to, and then, do we have like a size? Length, get length. Okay, so I'm just going to try this. Let's do 4. I'm just going to see if I can actually visualize the actual, if I can actually console out just the floating point values just in range, make sure that it's actually reading in properly. So let's get audio levels, get length. Yeah, is that right? So how do I actually get the value? ReadMax. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a pointer. Is that right? So how do I actually get? All right, I'm going to go to the JUCE form here. Let's go to range. Let's just try that. Let me see here. So what I'm looking for is range is, so range is a container, right? It looks to be a container. Yeah, I need to do, I've actually been working on a course. I've been working on a couple courses. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to actually finish it. I'm more than halfway done actually. Yeah, I need to do that. Hopefully soon. So do I need to, man, how do I get the value of the range, like of the, so we get the size, we get min and max, now how do I actually get the value back? How do I just go through the values? This is a question. So let's see here. Yeah, man, range is such a, okay, so yeah, I'm trying to get, so let me go in here, constructs some range, constructs a copy, returns the range, returns a range with a given start and length, start, length, the end, set start, yeah, set length, expanded. Maybe if I go to Discord, maybe I'll ask them. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe this isn't right. Yeah. So you got ReadMax levels. Range to get values. Yeah, this. Yeah, man, I'm stuck. Any direction apart. Okay. So it's a pointer. I don't. Let's see. Now I'm going to try to rename. Oh, sorry. This. Sorry about this, everybody. I'm getting confused with my windows here. What I'm going to do is I just want to read in this, drop this in, see if this actually works. Oh, did it crash it? Yeah, it crashed it. Okay, so that's not the right way. So, audio levels is uninitialized. So this is, so that points, yeah, because it's a pointer. It's a pointer, so it doesn't, so now, let's try some empty range. So does not provide a subscript operator. So now it's telling me that audio levels doesn't. So let me just try this. So like a get max or something like that. Just want to see if it actually just kind of. Let me just try this. Click value. Let's just say 0.6. So I'm just going to see, I'm just seeing if it actually actually give me a value when I actually drop a wave on it. So, okay. Here we go. So now I'm going to drop a sound on this. Okay, so it does read through it. Now the question is just how do I actually iterate through it? That's the question. So clearly we can see that audio levels is actually holding our waveform. Now the question is, how can I actually, let me do this. Audio point, audio levels. Oops, auto, sorry. And is a private member. Can I do auto I equals audio levels start. No. It's not two levels can't end. Okay, I think that. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay, but I'm close though. For a point. Get. Can I do that? I don't even know if I can do that. No. Boy, I'm stuck here because it doesn't. It's not. I'm close though. For auto equals audio levels. Okay, start audio levels. Don't understand why I can't do this here. Oh, because yeah, see, why can't I do that? Okay, so it's not an array, but it's a container, right? Because it has a start, but it has an end. Mark Spector is helping me out. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so range has a start and an end. right? So am I thinking of this wrong in that this is not what a linear range? Or is it just giving a start and an end? So is it just the range? Is it actually just the range of what's in that? Yeah. Yeah, so range isn't what I need then. All right, we need to go back to the drawing board here, clearly. So range isn't what we need. So we were looking at read max values, right? Now, so I originally had this vector. So all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get the values from the audio format read. I just want to read through the audio format reader and get it into this vector. Yeah, so that's right. Range doesn't contain the inner values. Yeah. So what I want is maybe there's nothing in. Okay. I mean the other thing is let's see here. So read max levels. It just finds the highest and lowest levels. So what's read samples? Also says we should just call read instead. Read samples says read samples from the string. But how do you actually take it and put it in? Yeah, but read just returns a bool though. It will just tell you if it actually reads through. So it would be something like yeah, I thought about that. Reading into a buffer. Yeah. Yeah, but a buffer is just a vector. Yeah. I mean, a buffer is essentially a vector. So let's see. So it appears that. Okay, so maybe I just yes. I mean, you're right. So maybe you still have to have a place where it actually reads from. So let's look at the audio buffer class here really quick. So let's look at audio buffer. So you got audio buffer. Maybe there's like a copy from or something like this. Like type data to refer to. So this makes a copy of. This has the buffer. Given one. Copy from source. So then. Yeah. Let's go back to audio format reader source. Returns the reader. So this has the reader. format reader. You mean an audio format reader, Mark? I'm not seeing that. Oh, wait, how did I miss this? Oh my goodness, how did I miss this? Oh, thank you so much, Mark. You saved me. How did I ever miss that? Crazy. I was looking through that. So, okay, so we need audio format reader. So get rid of this. And then we will call this audio buffer float. And then waveform. And then here we will say code form reader. Yes, how did I even miss that? This should be waveform, then start sample and destination buffer 0, and then this would be format reader length num samples. Let's see. I forget what it is. Length and samples, I think it is. Yeah. Yes, format reader. Length and samples. Yes, thank you, Mark. You freaking saved me. Reader start sample 0, and then we'll just use just the left channel false. Ah, you've saved me. So, okay. Long to bit. So static cast. Okay, so now just cast that, get rid of that warning. Now what we'll do is for auto points in waveform, and then we will do no viable begin. Oh, so I can't do this. So get size, get samples. So just make sure this is actually reading in and waveform. I think this might be a 2D. Yeah. So 0 I. See if that does it. Ah, it doesn't do it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to trust it's in there. Unless now I need to know how to do that. So JUCE audio buffer class. Oh, so I need to get the read pointer. Sorry. Yeah, so for plus the get num samples plus then auto star point equals waveform get red pointer. Nope. Sorry. Get read pointer, I just want to read. So it's channel 0. Then just do this. Get sample, yeah, that would probably. Get sample 0 at I. Okay. Mark's been a big help. Yes. So this should work. No, what's going on? Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. Because this is no longer a vector. Okay, so then this has to be oh, we're making progress slowly and steadily. Okay, so let's do a sampler. So once we drop sample in here, this should, oh, it crashed. So what happened? So, okay. I don't think that, so we got, audio sample buffer line 288. So let's see here, where am I? I've lost myself. I think it's because I haven't initialized audio buffer properly. It doesn't have a size, I don't think. So, where am I going here? So I need to look in line 288 because I've just hit an assert message. So as we can see here, we've got assertion failure in audio sample buffer line 288. So here we are in sample buffer.h for people that are just starting out. So now I'm just going to line 288 just to see what it says here. So sample index. So it hit number of channels is turns vertical. Okay. Is positive and below. Turns the value if it's at least 0. So what have I done here? But I'm not trying to get a right pointer though. I think the way I had this before was right. So if I do auto sample, because it's trying to get it as a write to write, not to read. So let's see here. Waveform, get right pointer, channel 0. This needs to be an auto pointer. Then we will do I think that's right. Okay, here we go again. Let's see what's happening here. sampler. Oh man, did it again. Okay, so it's going through the samples. No, oh, so it's going through this for every number of samples. That's not what I want. Yeah, I just did get read pointer. Yeah, but I was reading through that every sample. Um, so I have to go through all the channels and then all the samples. Then I have auto sample. This needs to be a pointer equals. And waveform get pointer channel 0 or channel. Yeah. Oh, did I? I thought I did. I thought I did right pointer. Okay. Then I need to do read pointer. It's less than get samples. Plus. So let's try this again. And this should be read sample. Okay, so that's read pointer now. All right, let's try this again. Okay. Here's a sampler. Did not do it. Did not do what I expected it to do, which was to load, which was to actually just going to do this, just going to erase my console here. So interestingly, I'm still getting an assertion and get right. And, hey, how's it going? So I'm still getting an assertion in line 288. So let's go back. 288. It's saying that it's calling get right pointer. How weird was that? Yeah, it's calling get right pointer even though maybe there must be something. I don't know. Unless it's, yeah, weird. Audio format, it's calling another assertion in line 146. So alright, so let me do this. Let's make sure it's actually reading in there in the first place. Yeah, so strange. So let's do waveform get samples. Let's just see if it actually gets the number of samples properly when I actually do it, when I actually drop. Actually drop a wave on there. Let's see if it actually gives me the number of samples properly. So here we are. Okay, so we see here it's given us 0 samples, so this actually isn't giving us, when we're reading into the waveform, it's not actually properly putting the samples into the waveform. So now we just need to look at why that is. So is it because I haven't allocated that many? I haven't allocated samples. Is that what it is? I haven't given it a length, I don't think, to. So where's, must be like a set size or something like that. Set size, here we go. Okay. So then we would go waveform set size. Okay. So this needs to go before it reads into waveform, or else we'll get the same problem. Number of new channels is 1, and then we will use length and samples. And now, we shall try. So let me do this. Let's do. It's only going to have one. Okay, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. So auto sample size equals, just because. So there we go. Sample size. And then here we put sample size again. Okay, so that cleans it up a little bit. And then, since we only have one channel, we don't need to iterate through the channels. We can just say, now we could just get a read pointer into the buffer where we say auto read, auto buffer equals waveform get read pointer of channel 0. That for I is less than sample size, I plus plus, buffer. This, I have a good feeling about this one. How do y'all feel? How many people are watching? Is anybody still watching? Let's see here. Oh, we still got 8 viewers. Great. Oh, what happened? Oh no. Oh, it's just nothing. All right. So I have a good feeling about this one now. let's see. So it hasn't crashed on me yet, which is good. It's a good sign. Good start. Now, yes, here we are. We got it. Okay, accept. Yeah, great. Ooh, yes, it's our wave. Fantastic. Awesome. So, now that is fantastic. So now I'm thinking, so if you've been watching, if you've been crazy enough, yes, thank you, Mark. I couldn't have done it without you. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, so we don't need to actually read all of the samples into the waveform. Maybe I'll just to make this quick and dirty, maybe what I'll do is I will just do this in the editor now, where I'll actually just downsample it. So we have this, so just to update you if you're just kind of tuning in, so we have this audio buffer where we've actually copied, we've actually put all of the data from the waveform when we're actually loading the file. It's actually copying all of the data into this audio buffer called waveform. And now what we're looking at is how to actually visualize this. So what we have at the moment is we have a flag, a Boolean flag, that is going to go off if the file is loaded. Then what happens, so I'm just thinking we need something here that resets this so this doesn't call every paint method from now into eternity, or else it's going to do this every time. So let's see. So we got. Let me just do that while I have that on my mind. So we have a Boolean. So we have a flag that calls when the file is loaded. So we don't actually need this, right? So I'm just going to get rid of that because we need this actually from the editor side, right? What do you think of this? No, I'm right. I do need that. Sorry. So let me just pull that back. Yeah, I do need to know when the file is loaded. I guess I just need another flag here to see if it's actually been, if we've actually loaded the wave. Yeah, so the file, so we've got is file loaded, and what would we call this? I guess like bool is wave visualized. We'll set that to false. For now, just need a flag so this doesn't call every time once we've done it once. So is the file loaded? And then what we'll do is, actually I'll just do it all in one if statement. So if we haven't visualized the wave yet, then it goes in here, does all of our stuff that we need to do, and then is wave visualized equals true. So that does not call every time we need to do this. Of course, eventually we want functionality where if a person loaded a different waveform, we've got to set this back to false again somehow, but we won't worry about that for now. So, okay, so now we could, I mean, so waveform is an audio buffer, right? Now we have the process where we want to downsample this, so we don't need every single point in the buffer in order to visualize the wave, right? I mean, maybe like we could take like 1 out of every 6 samples. So let's just say, like, let's start off with like 1 out of every 12 samples or something. So let's do something quick and dirty here. So let's say int equals 0, I is less. Yeah, I've looked at that actually. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Add audio thumbnail. Oh yeah. So this is like a DIY. Yeah, this is a DIY one. Yeah. Yeah, just thinking it through. So waveform dot get samples. So we'll do this every 12 samples. Let's see if we can do this, right? So I guess we could put it in a vector maybe, or we put it, yeah, maybe we could put it in a vector and then visualize the vector. I mean, let's do it. I'm sure there's probably, I mean, I suppose what you could do, you could just write over all of the, if I was maybe doing an interview for Google or something, maybe I would just write all those samples into the same buffer, and then just delete everything else. But since we're not doing a Google interview, I'm going to do it the naive way for the moment. So let's do, maybe we can come back and ponder over how we could really optimize it. We'll make this audio points. And this needs to have it for it. Make our code coherent here. So then we have audio points push back, and then waveform. So we need to do the same thing where we do where we get the read pointer. So auto buffer. Sorry, this needs to be a pointer. Buffer equals waveform, get read pointer, channel 0, and then this will be buffer I. And then this needs to be M. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're taking the whole size of the waveform. So we have all these points, and we're actually just downsampling it because we don't need all the points to actually visualize the waveform fairly accurately. So now we have, so now our downsampled wave audio points will be in this vector, and now from here down we just need to look at actually visualizing it. So we need to look at what is the scaling, I forget what it's called in JUCE. Scale vector. It's not J limit, it's J. What is it? Constraint. So it's escaping me at the moment. Not J limit, not J max. Maybe if I just look good. Maybe here, maybe it'll be maybe here. So dot J limit, not on maximum. J map, that's it. It's called J map. So we will have a point where we say J map. So this will scale our value. So at the moment we have the size of our plugin on the x-axis is 600 pixels. So chances are we're not going to have 600 points in our audio points. So this is why we need to scale this. Right? So we got the source minimum, okay, should be -1. Source maximum should be 1. Okay. Why do I get a feeling that there's going to be an error here? Target range is going to be, so where are we going? Are we going on the x-axis or are we going on the y-axis here? So sorry, so this is going to be 0. Sorry, let me go back. I messed this up. So our target range min, which is going to be our screen, is going to start at 0. The range max is going to be the width of, so the right hand side of our plugin. So now we just need to look at what's our source range min, which will be 0, and then our source range max would be M audio points. Do we have like get end or get? How do we get the last point on a vector? I thought it was get. Oh, it's just end. And then -1. So then source value. So we need source value is M audio points. Right? JMap. I think I need to specify the type that I want here. Oh, what have I done wrong here? Source value. Source range min, source range max. Also, this is, it's the sample in the audio buffer. Oh, is it? Oh, back, that's right. Yeah. Right. And then this is just audio points. So this is the source. So let's so the source value is so this is what do we need here? Source value. I thought it would just be our audio points. Oh no, we need to iterate through this, because we need to map it out. So for I'll clean all this up when I finish. Size. This needs to be template open. Okay, now I feel like I'm okay. So now we got something that actually will compile. Is it actually so now do I need a third? So now we just need to draw it. So let's do so let's set a color. We just set it to black. Oh yeah, that's just no, That's just some external noise out there. I think, I hope I don't have I hope I'm using my actual mic. Oh, now that you say it, no, I'm not. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I guess so. This mic is actually kind of useless right now. Oh man, what a day. So then, draw line, or isn't there like a dot? Draw circle. I'll just do G draw line. Then float start. So let's think about this now. Oh man. So let's see here. So we have, it's going to go through the audio points. So what we want is, it's going to go through the sample. It's going to give us, it's going to go through each one of these, and then it's going to give us what we need on the y-axis. So float start is going to be I could use a path for this. So let's see here. So we have the point. So the point is gonna just let's see. So that is scaling, that's scaling R, where the audio point is going to be on the x-axis. And then we need to do the same thing for the y-axis, don't we? So because we need to scale it on the x and on the y-axis. Point y equals JMap float, and then the source here would be audio points sample. So this is static. This would be a static thumbnail. So audio points. So this will be have I done that right? Okay, let me do this one first. So our range of this will be from -1 to 1. And then it will be from get height, which would be the bottom, to 0. This doesn't feel right here to me, this first one. Yeah, because that's, yeah. So we want to scale. So we want to scale the. Yeah. Yeah, that's not right. Yeah, point Y is fine. That's going to give us the scale on the y-axis. Yeah. Yeah, just the sample, and then just draw it from 0 to. Yeah. Yeah, the sample value is not relevant on the x-axis, but the size of the vector in respect to the size of the canvas is what we need. There, though, right? So let's just draw something and see what happens there. So let's do G draw line, and then this would be, oh, so this so start of X would be, so this needs to go from left to right, right? So isn't there like a draw point or something like that? Draw or ellipse. It's like draw ellipse. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah. Yeah, so sample is going to take us. So what we need we do need something that's gonna give us a scale of the number of points in our vector in respect to the number of pixels on the canvas. Right, so that would be JMap. And so this would say source value would be, I don't want to change the size, so I want to do this, but then the source range is 0 and audio points dot back. Target range min is 0 and get width. And then here, I think this could be fine as an int. It could be a foot. Then here would be scale. Then I could just cast this. Then now we're going to say, so it's going to be sample, because that's going to take us from 0 to the right of the screen. And then this would be point Y. And then our width. Also, this is just the width and the height of the ellipse. I don't know. Let's just try 5 pixels. Oh, and I think I want fill ellipse. Yeah. So not draw ellipse, but fill ellipse. The crazy thing about this is that this will probably be like a 10-minute tutorial once it's actually. Okay, I think we might get some funniness here because there are actually some values. So we see here when I dropped the the file in here, and we got these scientific numbers that are at the end, and I think they might possibly mess us up as invalid numbers. Not quite sure how to account for that. Ellipse, yeah, I use ellipse because it's just a point, so it's just like one single point on the. So they should just be like points in the wave. I think we might have an issue here when we actually try to draw this. Let's just see. Yeah. See, assertion failure mass function. So let's see, how do you get around that? How do you get around if it is, maybe I just need to constrain. I need to go back to when I actually first read it in, and I need to maybe say if it's above or below. Above or below the number that our target values, that maybe it just zeroes it out or just like stays. So where? So there we go. So filter your web audio points buffer. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it here just because I think it makes the most sense just from a So let's just do so we're going through this audio buffer for points. Can I do this? I think I tried to do this before. Will it give me a problem? Yeah, I think I have to do it the old-fashioned way. So, I actually have to get a read pointer here in this case. So auto, because we're actually going to change the values here. Auto buffer equals waveform, get read pointer from our channel 0, and then for getting samples. And then, what's this return? Oh, no, I don't think that's an error actually. That should be fine. Yeah, cool. Yeah, one of those erroneous Xcode errors. So what we got? JMax? No. JLimit. Yeah. So now we need to say mWaveform buffer or I. I'm going to change this just to sample, just to make this more intuitive. So mWaveform sample equals JLimit, and then lower limit should be -1, upper limit should be 1, and value to constrain should be mWaveform at sample index. Okay. Oh, I did the same thing. I don't know why I always mess that up. So what about buffer? Sorry. Okay, we should be good now. No. So once again, this needs to have a template argument. Now we should be fine. Okay, now we go. Draw a sample, put a sample in there. Ah, crashed again. Okay, so JUCE maths function dot h line 129, getting an assertion. So maths functions dot h line 129. So we're getting the mapping from a range. Okay. So this is happening in our JMap, one of our JMaps here. So just gonna open up another tab here so I can actually see this. So what's happening here? Crazy thing is that it's not, it's just giving us this assertion. I'm gonna actually do a shorter tutorial on this, so don't worry. I'll have a cleaned up tutorial on this probably up tomorrow. So we're getting a problem where we're getting an assertion on one of these JMaps. The problem is I don't know which one it is. I think it's going to be this one here. So back gives us the last element in the vector, right? So let's see what the assertion is. So it's line 129. Source range max is not equal to source range min. Okay, so source range max, which is in this case is an audio dot back, is not equal to 0. So back is the last Just want to make sure that I got that right. Top back vector. Access the last element. Okay, so that's not it. Mapping from a range of 0 will produce an invalid number. Source range max is not equal to source range min. It should be this. Source range max. Let's see. Okay. We're nearly there. Source range max. So the assertion would say either this is 0. So, okay, so that could be the case if the vector, if this vector is a size of 0, right? Line 47. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. So maybe I need to say something like if audio points dot size, or actually I'll just do an assert here, just to see if it actually just flags here. Okay, so let's see if it flags, if it gives us the assert here when that. Okay, now go here. Okay, so it didn't flag it. Didn't flag this. Okay, let's set. Let's just set a breakpoint here. See what our values are looking like. Do I want it there? Do it there for now. Yeah, it doesn't actually even get there. So let's do it here. Weird. Doesn't even actually. Doesn't even actually break. is it here? So the only place I'm calling map is in here. It's so weird. We'll do this for a second. See if it still asserts. So no source so far. Yeah, so no assert still. Oh really? Oh, let's see. Well, get reported. It says it should be a star. Oh, pointer. I'm actually just gonna comment. I'm gonna do the very non-sophisticated thing here and just comment out. And do this by process of elimination here. Yeah, it needs to be a pointer. Oh really? Okay, let me try it. I'll try it. Let's try it. Okay. Oh, getting all mixed up. Yeah, still giving me the error. Okay. Yeah, it didn't give me any problems on this though. So okay. I'm gonna get rid of this line for a second. We're going to do this by the old school process of elimination. Okay, so yeah, so we know that there's a problem with line 47. Okay. So okay. So it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what my thinking there was that I need to know how many points that I need to map on the x-axis to get it. So if maudiopoints.size is 1,000, but let's say the size of my canvas was 500, then I need to skip every other one, right? So then I need to only map 500 points. Then again, it would only map the first 500 points if that was, it would only map, yeah, the first 500 points if that was the case. So yeah, right, that does not make sense. Yeah, so this, so I need, so the thing is that I need a ratio that will tell me, that will properly that'll properly go from 0 to the, okay, so this, Yeah, it's a simple division. Yeah. Yeah, so, okay, so we could say auto ratio equals m audio points dot size. So the size of, so would it be size over get width, or would it be width over get size? It would be width over size. Size over width. Okay, so I have, yeah, so I have that. Then what we're gonna do, so then it would be for 0 I is less than m audio points dot size, I plus equals ratio. I'll just make this simple. Yeah, point y. Yeah, it's this. Oh, I'm missing a bracket. All right, I think I'm just gonna do, yeah, this should be fine. All right, here we go. It's a nice long live stream, isn't it? Hey, everybody, got 10 people viewing. Awesome. Welcome. Okay, so now we have, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because then it will be, yes, you're right. I'm gonna see what happens first, but yeah, you're right, because it's gonna be going 1 point, some sort of fractional number through to the index, whereas the index needs to be an int. Still hasn't, didn't do it, but okay. Because all of this is going to be covering it, so. I'm just going to comment it out for now. Yeah, so let's go back here. So ratio is going to be a fractional number, right? So that is not. So we would want auto ratio equals, was it seal? Gonna do ceiling. Yeah. So I think that's what we want there. So that ensures that it gives us an int. So that will give us the ceiling. Actually, don't we want the floor? The floor. and then so you're saying, okay, so yeah, but then you have to go through audio points. You would have to go through audio points and resize it, wouldn't you? So I would just, so like if we did that, so we get the ratio. Then you would just say yeah, so then I would say, like, normally I would say for int I equals 0, I is less than the ratio I plus plus. But then you have the size, so then you have the size of the audio points of your vector. Yeah, size. Five plus equals number of samples. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yes. Oh, you're right. Yeah, so this should be ratio right here. Yeah, that looks right, Mark? Never. Yeah, so that feels right. So now audio points is the same size as the width, Then this would be sample plus plus. Okay, let's try that now. No. Oh. Oh, Mark. What are we doing? Oh. So, yeah. Wait. Oh, you're right. I plus plus. I'm getting all tangled up here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so audio points is empty here. So I don't even need that. Yeah. So I got this. And then I've got get width here. Right, you're getting, I think you're getting me mixed up. So waveform vector number sample. Okay. Okay, I get you. I get you. Yeah, I plus equals ratio. Yeah. I get you. I get you. I'm getting there. Ratio. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I was mentally on the same page as you, but not syntactically. Go. Hello sampler. Okay. Still not drawn. Okay, it's because I'm only drawing it once, and then it's just filling it all black again. Okay, so we need to go. So I need to we need to draw it over and over again. I guess that would make sense. What, just now? Don't tell me you made it just now while you were talking to me. It's still not doing it. Okay. Because I'm setting the color to black. Oh my goodness. Oh, over 6 years. Okay. All right. I thought you meant like right now, this second, while you were talking to me. You made like, I was gonna say, ooh. Hey, there's something. Yeah, it's a waveform, sort of. Okay. So it's working. Yeah, of course it doesn't redraw. We have to go through just if another waveform loads, then you have to clear it. You have to redraw it. I won't worry about that for now. Let me just. So okay, so let me load in a long file. Yeah. Okay, so the best. So this looks like a case for. So this is actually working. Now we just need to make it an actual line. So this sounds like a case for a path rather than a just an ellipse. So now this is going to test my knowledge of the path class. Where we do p.line2. So let's see here. So do we have overloaded arguments here? So we've got points. Oh, it's start new subpath. Path is one of those classes that I always kind of, I know it, but I don't know it well. So start X would be 0, start Y would be, we'll put it in the middle of the screen. So get height divided by 2, and there we go. And then now we need to add points. So we go p.line2. I think this is right. Where we would say the start is sample and point y, and then we have to do p dot what is it, complete close subpath? No, not close subpath. Maybe I should just look at the documentation for this. JUCE, then path. Clear, start new subpath, close subpath. So let's see here. So I guess this is closed subpath, or what's the one where you actually, I think it's closed subpath that I want here. I think there's something else. There's something else that I'm missing here. Contains, intersects lines. Oh, it's like draw path or something like that. Draw path. Fill path. That's it. Then it's P and path super type. We'll put the line thickness at 2. That feels right. It's a hell of a coding session right here. If you are actually, hey, look at that. Haha, here it is. Oh man, we got there. Can't believe it. Yes. Yeah, finally got it. Man, that is, that's good to see. That's good to see. Okay, cool. So that works. Yes. That only took me, how long have we been online? It only took 2.5 hours. It took 2.5 hours. That's not too bad. Okay, so let's do so now. Okay, so that works now, right? And now we have this. So now what we could do is we can start to get some of this other stuff in here, right? So if so we have this processor get number of sounds is greater than 0. So if a sound is loaded, which is essentially saying the same thing as this, so I can actually get rid of that. Nice. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man? Good to see you. Yes, so let's sorry, my code formatting is lacking here. So okay, so if we got the number of sounds is greater than 0, then we know that there is a sound in there. So in other words, if that's the case, we do not need this Boolean, so we could just get rid of that. And then we have, so now we have a situation where when the user wants to load another file, this is a tricky one. Tricky one because yes, it clears the sounds, but in between doing all of this business, is it actually going to call a paint method before we get down to here? And I don't know. Looks like a race condition. It's kind of beyond my. It's a little bit beyond my expertise in terms of how to actually ensure that a paint call would happen. And maybe, okay, so you set a flag. So maybe you set a flag that says that the sound is cleared, and then after it adds the sound, then you why am I loading stuff in Paint? No, this is back in the processor. Why not do the wave? Because the processor is responsible for all of the DSP, and then you have the editor, which is responsible for all the drawing. Oh, so what you're saying is why not just bring all of this stuff over to? You could bring all this stuff over to the. Yes, you could bring all this stuff over to the processor side. That is true. Yeah. So the only thing is that the only problem there is then processor needs to know what get width is, and you're not supposed to really give. You're not supposed to. So okay, so it only needs to. Let's think of how this could work. So okay, so we have the buffer that, so maybe it just gets pushed into, so M audio points could be something that lives in the processor. Is there a construction event in the DSP? Yes. Yes, there is. So you have the constructor. When you say a construction event, what you could do is you could do it in a timer. You could add a timer. When you say construction event, what do you mean? Like when the constructor is called, you mean? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean something that gets called periodically throughout the lifetime of the plugin itself? I'm gonna wait for your answer. Yeah, nah. So the only two things that, okay, so the drag and drop event. Yeah, let's okay, 1 second. Okay, so let's go back. So yeah, so you got drag and drop event. So files, so we could do it when the file is dropped, that it actually does the flag so everything happens in the, yeah, so when you have files dropped. So this would set the flag. So we would have something like needs to paint, needs to repaint, or something like that. So bool, so I can repurpose this. That needs to repaint. So then needs to repaint is true. And then so now yeah, exactly. Yeah, so when the file gets dropped, then that'll let us know that the window needs to be repainted. So then we would say needs to repaint. And here at the end we say then that's where we would say but we would need to clear the, so let's make sure that the buffer actually, so that this vector actually would delete if I need, so if it needs repaint, audio points, clear. Then we get all of this, it pushes the new points into the buffer. This feels sensible. Okay, I think that's right. I'm going to declare my path up here so that I can clear the path. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Pardon me. There we go. Samples. So let's load this. Okay, so that loads. Yes, it loads. Fantastic. Yes, and now it loads and resets the waveform no matter what. Nice. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, what do y'all think? Do I have anybody still watching? We still got some viewers. Nice. Yeah, so there it is. There it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab some lunch now. Thank you very much, Mark, for your help. And I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and review it again. But yeah, looks great. And I'll be sure to give you a shout out on the when I actually make the tutorial itself. And yeah, great stuff though. Learned a lot there. Learned quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, thanks again, Mark, for all the help. How about a longer file? Yeah, so let's try a longer file. So let's go back. So this is a little longer file right here. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, exciting. I'm excited. Visualized our first waveform from scratch. Thank you very much. I'm gonna grab some lunch. And yeah, thank you very much. Hope you learned some stuff. I learned a lot. And let's do another one soon. These are fun. Take care.